Well, isn't it also another form of prostitution by just giving up your pussy for free for a man who isn't doing shit for you? We can really talk about that. Why do y'all think that having a child is going to trap a man that doesn't even want to be with you in the first place? Is it really smart to be having a kid when you're 16 to like 24, 25, when you're not even established in your career, barely finished college, you're barely making money, you're barely even able to survive, you're not even with the baby daddy, there's no ring on your finger, you can't even afford rent, you can barely afford groceries, people are gonna come for you for going on government assistance if you really need the help. They are jealous of you. They will purposefully get you pregnant to make sure that you do not reach your full potential because they're insecure that they can't reach their full potential. Jumbo everyone, this is Editing Reese, and I just want to say a couple things before starting this video. In my last video, the Taylor Swift video, some of you bitches were complaining, and I don't appreciate that. I'm already yapping for 20 minutes straight. If I have a source that is going to back up my claim, I'm gonna put it in the video. I'm not gonna speed the videos up. If you guys are watching your video in 2x, it will, whatever. So videos are gonna stay normal speed. I'm just personally someone who always listens to stuff in 1.75 to 2x. Sorry. Second thing, yes, I put a lot of TikToks in. Like I said, it backs up my claim. I'm not going to argue with you. Argue with your mama. Another thing, somebody was trying to be like, well, you didn't credit the people in the video, so I'm not going to watch it. Do you know how many reaction channels use TikToks in their videos and never credit? So I don't want to fucking hear it. You can see their name in the corner. If you really want to go look up their channel, go look it up. Thank you and enjoy the video. Jumbo everyone, welcome back, and in today's video I'm gonna be talking about something very controversial. Bear with me, and that's gonna be a sequel kind of baby mama culture in your 20s, especially with no ring. Without further ado, let's get started. I know, don't attack me! Oh my god, I can already hear the keyboard warriors fucking going at it, talking about you fucking bitch, you don't know what it. Calm down. Guys, it seems like a fucking plague is going on, because what is up with women in their 20s getting pregnant with no ring? Before I really get into this video and really come for people who take it personally, this is all an opinion. I have to say that in every single one of my videos because I know I'm a controversial ass bitch, and that's okay. That comes with the territory. If I hurt somebody's feelings, and they say that in the comments, I own up to that shit. But, no, not but. And if you put something online, you are giving people who have opinions to criticize you in some type of capacity. And that's what I want to say. If you are online posting your child, posting about how you're in your 20s, you and your baby daddy, because that's what he is, you and your baby daddy are having a baby before there's even a ring on the finger. It stresses me out. And I know it's not my business, but y'all, what are we doing? Like, actually, can we be so fucking for real? Because we don't cut the camera. Dead ass. Again, if you have your own opinion, put it down in the comments and we can talk about it, okay? There's nothing, we don't need to be crazy about it, but this is genuinely an opinion. Like, I just see it like a plague, and I see so many women in their 20s getting pregnant. And that's where I'm just like, guys, do women not have goals anymore? And I'm really not even trying to like shit on women in this video. I just want people to really look at things for how they actually are, and like, nobody understands it. In my first baby mama culture video, the premise of that video was to talk about how rich people who are baby mamas are able to get away with being baby mamas, and they're not looked down on because they don't need resources from the government, and they're rich, they're famous. Ain't nobody care that they had a kid. It's almost them having a kid makes them more famous. What I am talking about in this video though is the fact that why are so many women in their 20s getting pregnant with no ring? Pro-choice is a thing, and I get it. Not everyone believes in abortion and everything like that. But I also want to talk about how selfish it is to bring a child into this world to suffer if you cannot give them everything that you want to be able to give them. Or if you just know that by having a child, it's going to completely change who you are as a person. And that is why I completely respect women who are child-free. Having kids and being a mother is no fucking joke. Coming from someone who has 2 older siblings and my growing up life and everything like that, shit, I'm glad I'm the youngest because I was able to get away with the most shit. But with saying that, is my siblings endured so much because my mom had my sister at 18, bro. Even me at 18, I look back like, what the fuck? I cannot imagine having a kid. And again, I know everybody is gonna come at me because I know a decent amount of people who are baby mamas or just who are single mothers in their 20s with no ring. And this is exactly why I want to make this video. This is exactly why I'm so vulnerable about my abstinence experience and STDs and talking about all that. I've never had an STD. I'm talking about the videos that I made about STDs. But why I'm so honest about that, because some people are like, damn, they feel so alone. They have nobody to talk to about these issues. And that's where I'm going to fucking be that friend that needs to tell you shit straight fucking up. Because having a baby in your 20s and being a baby mama with no fucking ring, what are we doing? Again, not everyone believes in marriage. Obviously, with my opinion, I'm projecting it out onto other people. I'm not negating that at fucking all. Two things can be true at once though. Kids who come from a two-parent household where the, parents actually love each other and like each other and their dad is actually present in their life thrive a little bit more than people who are, with their single mother and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong. A lot of kids and a lot of famous people are like, I owe it to my mom. She was a single mother, and that gives people the drive to do all that other stuff. But also, why can't people just have drive alone from being in a family that supports them and that wanted to have them and everything of that sort? Do you know how many times I have seen on TikTok women saying that they regret having children?
8 years ago, I became a mother. 18 years old, young, but I felt so ready. My partner and I had been together for 4 years. Our young relationship wasn't perfect, but our baby was welcome. We didn't hesitate for a moment. We became teenage parents, just like my own parents. My parents were happy for us, but my mother told me it would be hard. Of course, I believed it, but you only really know when you become a parent. I have a beautiful, healthy son who is now 8 years old, and luckily, I only have one. I can't imagine having more than one child. Honestly, now that I'm a mother and experiencing it, I would never want to be one. And that doesn't change the fact that I love my child dearly. I would literally die for him. But parenthood, and especially motherhood, is incredibly difficult for me. My pregnancy was fine, but unfortunately, I had a C-section. My body needed some time to recover. I was left with an ugly scar, and my body was completely changed. The first year was actually wonderful. That pink cloud people were talking about, I was definitely on it. I was madly in love with my baby. He ate well and was easy. When he turned 1, he started sleeping poorly, which was very difficult. It was also difficult because I felt like a single parent from day one. My partner barely helped with caring for our child. He was still young, just like me. As a mother, you're really more affected by it than the father. He went to work, went out, and hung out with friends. And I was stuck at home every day with a baby. The few friends I still had back then, I hardly spoke to anymore. They talked about normal teenage life, going out, boys, and makeup. I couldn't talk about anything but bottles, diapers, and sleepless nights. My partner and I are still together. He would like to have another baby. Our son is almost 9 years old, and he would love to have a little brother or sister for our child. I hesitated at first, but I can't bear the thought of being pregnant again, having to give birth again, maybe even having to have another C-section again, and then I'll definitely be left with 2 children all by myself without my partner's help. I don't think things will be any different now. The care is practically non-existent. I do everything for my son, including his appointments, sports, and housework. When I look around, almost all my friends have 2 or more children. They struggle every day. I have it hard enough with just my son. He's a really sweet, easygoing, and quite busy child. Because he's alone, he demands all my attention. Sometimes I look around and see women without children, beautiful looks, who travel the world and can afford nice things, and I feel a pang of jealousy. I also feel the urge to go out whenever I want without arranging a babysitter first. I truly regret motherhood. It's mentally draining. I miss my freedom, but I also have to say I'm trying to stay very positive, and once again, I love my child very much. Most importantly, I want to say, if you love your freedom, please think twice and never do it for a man.
And maybe if they were actually thinking about their decisions younger and when they aren't being so selfish into bringing a child into this world to suffer, that's the, like, I'm not pro-life, but like, if you really want to look at the definition of pro-life, bitch, don't have kids. Be abstinent. Don't be having sex if you can't even support yourself. And that is exactly why I'm making a whole nother video where I'm talking about, are you in lust or are you in love? Like, you're in lust, not love. And that's where it's just like everybody has these like transactional relationships and it's like, well, he does this, this, and this for me, so I have to give him a part of my body. No. So many of my videos, it's a track record. You can go watch my videos about these topics. I say the same fucking things and my opinions don't change because I'm right. Like, my opinion's right, in my opinion. I know it's an opinion, but you know what I mean. What I'm trying to say is that by closing your legs, focusing on yourself and not about these men, your life will go so much better. Literally, I'm gonna include in here. A video was like, when you're following your dreams, you basically become asexual. Why do y'all think I be saying, yes, I can see a cute man, yes, I can want to kiss him and everything like that, but sex is out of the picture. And I'm not willing to risk, you know, the sacrifices that I have made for myself to, you know, be the best version of myself for a man who's not benefiting me in the fucking slightest. And this is what I be saying to y'all. And then y'all want to try to come at me talking about, well, isn't that prostitution? Well, isn't it also another form of prostitution by just giving up your pussy for free for a man who isn't doing shit for you? We can really talk about that. That's where I'm just like, is love actually enough? Is it actually enough? No. That man needs to be providing for you. And even if y'all don't end up together, at least pick a baby daddy that's actually going to be there for the child. And this is where I'm saying, like, people are so selfish by bringing these children into the world because how many of y'all have daddy issues? Exactly. So you're having kids with a man who doesn't want the child, and then when that child grows up having daddy issues, what do we call that? A cycle. The cycle is repeating. This is what people be talking about, generational trauma, because your child can see that, damn, my daddy don't love me. I have daddy issues now, so now I'm gonna go seek out partners that don't sustain me, that aren't valuing me in any type of way, and they're just gonna keep continuing the cycle. Yes, I'm talking about people from my high school, but I also want to talk about a very important like topic as well. E-Kane, bro, you are so young. And like, even I used to watch her like that, and like, I don't even try to keep up with her because like I said too, like what you consume on social media is also a big factor of like what your feed is. So like E-Kane being pregnant again and like it going back and forth on people wondering like, are you pregnant again? Are you and Chris fucking? Like, and then for her to be pregnant again by a bum ass nigga, bro, like,
this message is for E-Kane and E-Kane only. If I ain't never have nothing else to say to you before, I'm going to say it now. The most resentful moment I have towards my mother happened when I was 7 years old. To this day, I still remember it happened in Florida City, Florida. I was 7 years old. And every time I think about the moment and the incident when it happened, I could still smell the air. All I have to say to you is that those kids are getting older. Those kids getting older, Erica. It's time to make a choice. You're going to have to choose between that fuck shit and them kids. That trauma is being encoded in those kids, even if they aren't at the phase where they can process it logically. Later on, it's going to show up in them children. It may be emotionally, it may be mentally. I don't want to put nothing on nobody kids, but I'm just speaking from experience. Baby, it's time to make a choice. The money and the views and all that shit, whoop-de-doo, but it's time to make a choice for those kids.
Bitches be on TikTok ugly as fuck talking about this is for E-Kane and E-Kane. Bitch, if it was for E-Kane, you would have just sent it to me. Bitch, it's for you to get paid off my name. That's what it's for. I'm not watching no video about it is for E-Kane and E-Kane only. No, it's not. It never was, and it never will be. Because I don't take advice from nobody on the internet. I'm sorry.
Why do y'all think the parents' relationship will really affect them that bad?
Why was you guys pretending? Why was you and Dada hugging to pretend you was nice?
Because we wasn't pretending. We was being nice, but you shouldn't see us sad and mad. So don't you rather see us hug? Do you want us to hug or do you want us to argue? We can hug and be nice.
You argue every day.
Every day?
Not every day.
Not every day, but a lot.
You argue in the room.
Quit telling all my business, because we could argue. We could argue a little bit, Eddie. Sorry, we'll work on that. Well,
like
I'll
when-
work on that. Okay.
I don't like when
Sorry,
Dada,
guys.
I don't like when Dada starts screaming
Yes, that's-
super loud. No, I didn't like when he knocked all this stuff down. And how did he get put up that fast?
Because I'm used to it, honey.
I didn't like when you started crying, so that hurted my feelings.
Y'all just telling all my tea. Y'all just telling all my business.
E. Kane is a bad mother. E. Kane is a bad mother. Domestic abuse and all, E. Kane is a bad mother. She is a participant in the abuse that her child has to witness. And I tried to talk about this. It was over a year ago. I don't know. I've had her blocked. I've had her blocked for a long time. And I wouldn't even be aware of what's going on if Table for Two hadn't one addressed her, and then the situation didn't blow up, and then now it's ended up back on my timeline. Because when I tell you, I blocked all of her pages, I brought all of her fan pages, because I'm the type of person, I cannot witness someone voluntarily participate in toxicity to the point where it is endangering your children and you just don't care. And then she loves to come back on the internet and be like, oh, I just did it for the money. But we watch videos of her children talk about the abuse or talk about how they argue every day. They fight in front of their children. And it's not to say, and it's not like she does not have the means to leave. She is the moneymaker in that relationship. She continues to have a man around her children that would put his hands on her. And a man that will put his hands on you will put his hands on your children. A man that will put his hands on you will put his hands on your children. And people try to say, that we're victim blaming, or I'm victim blaming, or we don't understand how domestic violence. Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. And if you do not love yourself enough, you need to love your children enough. If it's as a mother, you have to be able to walk away. And it's not that she cannot see it. It's not that she's unaware. It's not that she doesn't know. But she is choosing Chris over those children. She is choosing the toxicity over her children. And if you are going to choose anything that will endanger your children more than your children, if you put anything above your children, you're a bad parent. Chris is also a bad parent, but he's an abuser. We know that. He's a bum. He's a loser. He dusty and he ugly. There's literally nothing about Chris that I could understand why she would want to do what she's doing. He's not good looking. He don't got no money. He's like, there's literally nothing. I don't get it. When I say I don't get it, I don't get it. I don't get it. And like Table for Two said, that's how she sees herself, which is very unfortunate. She tries to portray that she thinks she's this amazing, like she thinks that she bad, she got her money, but in reality, she really dislikes herself on the inside, which is why she thinks she deserves someone like Chris. And I hate it because her children are watching her, and her children are her daughter is gonna think that she too deserves someone like Chris. That she's going to start to think that it is acceptable to be arguing with a man day in, day out, to be letting a man put his hands on you day in, day out, and then support that man. Because she loved coming on here talking about how much money she got. She did this in school. She did that in school. She like, girl, you can get money and not let a man put his hands on you every day. Because the thing is, right? When it comes to E. Kane, this is just my opinion. I don't know this to be a fact, but it doesn't give that she's afraid of Chris. I think she's addicted to the chaos. I think that she's addicted to the chaos, and sometimes in abusive situations, that be the case. Because the abuse doesn't appear to be one-sided. And then she comes on the internet and she gloats about how she participated in the abuse or what she did to set him off. And then she comes back and tells us that it's not that deep and da-da-da-da-da. She's a bad mother. And the fact that there are young girls and young women watching her thinking that this is acceptable, that this is funny, that this is okay, who's probably also in these fucked up situations thinking, oh, well, E. Kane does it and she's fine. She on the internet. She famous. People know her. It's okay.
It's not okay. It's not okay.
I see why fucking stereotypes are stereotypes, because y'all be living up to them. It's not surprising, and you don't understand, like, as your kids get older, they start to resent you. And I've seen so many times, because I really feel like in a small sense, baby mama culture is a form of pick me. Because why are you picking a man over your child? And we've seen it so many times, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, where there have been people who have literally posted videos being like, my mother is a pick me, and this is why I resent her, because she was always chasing after a man instead of focusing on her fucking kids. And this is what I'm talking about, because so many of the time you guys are choosing the men because you like them, not if they're actually going to be a good father. Shit.
Okay, response to my pick me video, because I understand like this is not a man's place to speak about women's shit, but I think, okay, I'm just gonna tell you guys, my mom was a pick me, was one of those psychotic, crazy fucking, at all cost, I have to be a good wife, I have to be a good wife, like so much so at the mercy of her supposedly having the energy to be a good or a present or an active mother. So I was the one who had to take the responsibility in sacrificing all of my passions to go work a job and get money so then she could dictate how that money was spent and saved, and then not tell me that some of that money was also being used to supplement or subsidize my deadbeat dad's existence in our house still. So, and it's like, the reason why, like, it's real hatred I have for my mom, I hate, like, that I even have to tell you guys this, but the reason why it's such hatred is because it's like, Mom, not only is this person, like, destroying your psyche and destroying your life and literally everything going on in your life, but you're abandoning your son, who doesn't only want to love you, but is dying over here, begging for a mother's love from my own mom. And it's so sad seeing like how other people's parents are just like, your kid is so amazing, he's so sweet and so respectful and this and that. And my mom didn't even take that as like, oh, maybe I should actually spend some more time with my kid and like my kid. It was always her taking that validation for herself as if, look at how great of a parent I am. And then would further like not be a parent when we'd get home out of like the view of other people. And like, I've done so much to really just like separate myself and to not be a part of that and to even address it. When I was in that relationship with my mother, I'm still not like an intimate relationship, but like when I was in that connection with my mother, I tried so hard to get her to just see me and to understand and to validate me and be like, hey, you trying like your darnest to blow my life up so it seems like I can't do anything without you, or to slander my name to other people, or invalidate my dreams, or to invalidate my own ability to believe in myself. You're not doing anything other than turning me into this man that you claim to me is like victimizing you and hating you and ruining your life. But you choose him over me every single fucking day. And I'm the one with potential. I'm the one with a future. I'm the one who has cool ideas and cool shit that you could invest in and actually probably maybe get a return on. But this deadbeat fuck nigga can't do a fucking thing for you and is living off of you. And you submit to him like he's some fucking king, like he saved your life or something. Like the power's in your hands, gang. You can do this. Like you're already the breadwinner here. You can leave this dude to go live off his family, which also doesn't really fucking like us, and then we can figure something out, bro. But it's just like, no, like she just constantly, like, for every single excuse she made to me as like why she couldn't be a present or like active mother, she made another excuse to validate why she stayed and supported my dad so much when he literally did nothing but parasite off of all of us, his kids and his wife, and had absolutely no friends.
Do you see like the trauma that you're inflicting on your children? And this is where children start to resent their parents, because it's like, bitch, are you fucking serious? Do we have to keep going through this over and over and over again? So then now it's like you have Kane's kids looking at her like, daddy beats you in front of us, and then you're gonna go bring another child? Like, Y'all, and then it's also like, this is what I be talking about, where I literally say that, again, my opinion, people have arrested development when they have kids. When people have kids at, say, I don't know, 21, they're going to feel 21 forever because that's the age that they were frozen at, because that's the age that they had kids at. And what happens when you have kids? All your energy is consumed on this child to make sure that they can live the best life that they can. And if not, then that child is going to be raised by their grandparents or raised by everybody else because you think that you're still 21 and still frolicking and being able to do everything that you want to do, even though you have a kid. And this is where I be saying women are selfish. Why are you bringing a child into this world and you don't even give a fuck? You're like, I'm still going to live my life. This is where I know I'm going to get hate. Again, this is all an opinion. And I know that like this is going to strike a nerve for the people that I know. And this is where I'm just like, really think about it. If your frontal lobe was developed at the time that you were popping out all these kids, bro, tell me why I saw a video today of a girl saying that she had a baby in elementary school. Elementary school. And this is where I be saying like trauma is a really big part of it. The way that you grow up, the things that you experience. I am not negating all of that. And that is exactly why I make these videos, because yes, two things can be true at once. You can grow up in that type of environment and be like, damn. But then at the same time, after a certain point, like you have to be conscious of what you're doing and how you keep bringing children into this world. If you can sustain your children, if you love your children, if you don't give a fuck about being a single mother, then all praise to you. At the same time, I think it's extremely selfish to bring children into this world where they don't have any type of figure of the opposite sex to be able to look up to. If a girl is with a girl dad, she needs some type of woman figure in her life to be able to tell her what it's like to be a woman, because men don't know what it's like to be a woman. Same thing that goes for all these women having kids with men and then having boys and just being fast and being a pick-me and not giving a fuck about being a mother. Why do y'all think that having a child is going to trap a man that doesn't even want to be with you in the first place? Why? In what type of fucking world? Maybe some of y'all's worlds, but what type of world trapping a man is gonna be like, he's gonna want to be with me? No, babes, he's probably gonna end up just loving his child and not giving a fuck about you. And this is exactly where I be saying like, y'all be trying to trap these men thinking that that is going to make them love you. And this is where I be saying you be bringing these children into this world to suffer. Because that's where it's also like the question is, do y'all really think marriage is less of a commitment than having a fucking kid? If you don't want to be married, like y'all say, like y'all claim, it's just a piece of paper, right? If marriage is just a piece of paper, then why don't y'all just get married and then go fuck and have a baby? But y'all want to be doing shit backwards where you want to have a baby and then think that this man is going to want to marry you after you just gave him one of the most fucking valuable things that you can give someone. Life, human, like their own child. Like, you know what I mean? And then it's even like y'all just be setting up these kids for failure. You really do, because you're selfish and you want to have kids to trap a man. Or, hear me out, I get it. So many women are like, my baby saved me, da 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 da. Okay, why does a baby have to save you? Why does another form of life have to make you like snap into it? And I get it. I've watched Intervention. I don't need the people who were addicted to drugs being like, my baby saved me. Once I got pregnant, I got clean, I got on my shit. That's amazing. I really don't know what else to say. That's amazing. Like, that's great. And I'm glad that that child was able to do that, but it's also like you're depending on a child for your sobriety at that point. You know what I mean? And I've seen Intervention. I've seen where these women are having kids addicted to crack. Like, oh, that's a whole nother fucking video. Like, but that's what I'm saying, like this baby mama culture shit, like you guys just popping out kids because you think it's cute and you think that babies are cute. That's a whole fucking life that you're responsible now for the next 18 years until they're dead. Like, or their whole entire life. Because I don't know why people think that just because a kid turns 18, that boom, you're out in the real world. What the fuck? But I just feel like I don't want to have kids until I'm damn near fucking 27, 28. I want to be established in my career. I want to be like living out my experiences, being able to do stuff so I don't resent my kids for not being able to live out these experiences, because I'm not gonna do it. And I know a lot of my faves too are now baby mamas in their 20s. And this is where I'm just like, guys, this is an opinion. You can have kids. You can do what you want. I'm talking about the people with no fucking money that can't even sustain having kids. I already talked about, you know, rich people being baby mamas. They don't give a fuck. They're able to support their kid, take care of their kid, give their kid everything they want. I'm talking about you children from my high school popping out babies when you can't afford yourself. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And you know what? If being a mother is your dream and that's everything that you've ever wanted to do, more power to you. I'm talking about the people who are selfish, that have children in their 20s who can't even provide for themselves and bring children into this world to suffer. I know a lot of the times people can be like, oh, her titles are clickbaity. They're not clickbaity. You just need to watch the full video of what the fuck I'm actually talking about. And this is where I'm just like, y'all think having kids is gonna make a man stay, and it's not. Sorry, it's just really bothering me. Women should have the right to choose if they want a kid or not, but I also think that women need to start thinking deeper on the consequences of actually having a child when you're not ready. Again, personal opinion, I feel like the age that you have a kid at is the age that you stay at forever, because all of your time is consumed into raising that child into being, I guess, the best child that they can be. At the same time, do you know what sucks? When a child wants to join a sport and they can't do it. When people are not able to live up to their full potential because their parents were selfish and just had them, instead of thinking about, do I want to bring a child into this world to suffer? No. So I'm gonna get an abortion.
Why am I still seeing pregnant women? I thought we learned our lesson already. Not only is this country going, especially in this country, because make that shit, are you just willfully dense? Or are you just like throwing the dice in life? Because I mean, technically, even though it is a minuscule of a chance, I could still get pregnant. I'm 41. It's a very slim chance, but you know, shit happens. Bitches get pregnant at 50. Who knows? But I don't understand. With everything, this country is literally ablaze. It is literally a shit show. Women's health is shit. We just saw them keep a lady alive, and we don't even know. I would like an update on this child, because it's been a couple of months. Is this child like perfectly healthy with the lady in Florida or Georgia? I'm honestly starting to feel like it's just a selfish act and you're just a silly goose. Because if you have gotten pregnant in the last 5 years, that shit is wild. Because honestly, we don't know how and what this country is going to be by the time your child by the time your child is a fucking kindergarten age. The last thing on my mind is procreating. I'm sorry, let the human race die the way it is. Because you can't even say it's just this country. We are literally going to destroy ourselves. We literally make it hard for everyone else. We can't live peacefully. We want what the next person has instead of working for what the next person has. And it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are and what country you're in, it is happening. Or we always want to stay in power because we feel inferior to the next person and there is no happiness within ourselves. So why are we bringing children into a world like this? Like, the system is going to produce a whole, I mean, it's already doing so, and I don't blame the teachers. I mean, half the kids can't read. They can't tell time if it's not on a digital clock like an iPhone or their iPad or something like that. Half the parents are checked out or they're not available because they have to work so much and you're not able, and this is not me advocating for trad wifeness. I just think people should have a good life-work balance because they have to make all this money in order to provide any sense of life for themselves and their kids. So I don't understand, especially people in low income, why are you having children? The odds, I mean, it does happen, but the odds are stacked against you the less money you have with kids. Like, think about how Stephanie, what's her name, Jenkins, her kids are going to come out. It would be a shot in the dark if one of those kids becomes successful, seeing what they're seeing and growing up the way they're growing. They're basically nomads. So I just don't understand why anyone is having kids in 2025. Because I saw about 3 or 4 pregnant women today, and I'm just like, this is fucking crazy. And also, like, stop attacking that lady who said that being pregnant is a form of self-harm. Because knowing what you know, unless you're completely ignorant, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure most pregnancies are very healthy. It is an anatomy, I don't know, I'm getting tired. But it is an odd ball if you have an unhealthy pregnancy. It's not a usual thing, especially with modern technology and how women are monitored, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. But the whole point is that it can happen, and it can happen to you. You don't know until you get pregnant. Not to mention, things can go wrong. Things go wrong all the time, but now we're coming to the point where they don't care if it goes wrong. You could pass away from sepsis and they don't care. Because that little clump of cells that can be stuck in a fallopian tube, growing outside your ovary, growing outside your uterus, they're just like, it's a baby. So why the fuck are you pregnant? So if all the things I just listed, these are things that I manage you. I didn't have these problems when I was at, prime Christian mating age of having a baby. And believe me, 2 men have tried. No, that's what Plan B is for. But anyway, it's existed since I've been sexually active. Thanks, modern science. But but basically, I don't understand. I've always thought about this and how also, as being a Black woman, we are more likely to still pass away in childbirth. Even in 2025. It is still more dangerous for us to give birth in any hospital in America because they treat us differently. They think our pain threshold is higher than other fucking ethnicities. I can go on and on and on. I grew up, my grandmother was a nurse and my mother was a nurse, and I have a lot of nurses in my family. I know a lot about medical health. So I didn't have to study it because my mother was literally upgrading her nurse's license while home. So I don't know. I wish people, I keep seeing this woman defend her, choice. Like I said earlier about saying how pregnancy is self-harm. Right now, maybe not 20 years ago when I was in my 20s, it wasn't, but right now it is. 100% it is. You are throwing that motherfucking dice. Hell, even having sex and possibly getting pregnant, you're throwing that dice. So, just saying.
Or I'm just gonna abstain from having sex. Because that's where I'm at right now. I know I am nowhere near financially responsible to be able to have a kid, which is exactly why I'm abstinent, not having sex. And like I said, if I'm gonna have sex, a ring needs to damn near be on this fucking finger at that point. Like, please don't play with me right now. I feel like with the arrested development aspect of the video that I talked about, I feel like it can also get murky where people are so young when they have kids that they treat their kids as friends, and that murky line of parenting and friendship, gets blurred. And don't get me wrong, I want to be friends with my kids, and there's going to be boundaries at the same time. So that's where I'm just like, is it really smart to be having a kid when you're 16 to 24, 25, when you're not even established in your career, barely finished college, you're barely making money, you're barely even able to survive, you're not even with the baby daddy, there's no ring on your finger, you can't even afford rent, you can barely afford groceries, people are gonna come for you for going on government assistance if you really need the help. Guys, all those reasons that I just listed, please be smarter. Even men try to trap you women. Oh my God, that's an aspect I didn't even talk about. That could be a whole nother video within itself, but where I'm going to talk about that and just end the video here, it feels like throughout this video, I was very much blaming women. Yes, 2 sides of the same coin as well. Men will sit there and trap your ass. Men will sit there and humble you to get you pregnant, even if you're at the height of your fucking career, or if you're doing what needs to be fucking done, if you're going to college. If they are jealous of you, they will purposefully get you pregnant to make sure that you do not reach your full potential because they're insecure that they can't reach their full potential. Please stop laying down with men who don't like you, who want to impregnate you, who want to stop you from being the best version of yourself, because you're going to regret it in the future. You may love your kids, but you could also regret them at the same time. Stop allowing these men to impregnate you and think that just because they love you, that love is enough. Are they providing for you? Are they making sure that you're not having to clock in 9 months fucking pregnant because they aren't doing shit for you but loving you? Don't piss me off. We need to be smarter, and like I said, this is why I make these videos surrounding sex and relationships, vulnerability, everything of that sense, because we really need to be smarter on who we're giving our energy to. If you guys just be like, well, I love him and this and that, but he's fucking up your life simultaneously, I don't want to hear it. You have the choice. Your partner is a reflection of you. If you sit there and you keep letting him sabotage you just because you love him and you want to stay in that relationship and all that other stuff, I don't want to fucking hear about how your life is going downwards because you didn't want to listen and you don't want to focus on yourself before sitting there and pleasing a man for male validation. I don't want to hear it. Anyways, I think I've yapped long enough. I know people are probably going to be mad. Keyboard warriors, if y'all really want to go toe to toe, I love typing and I love hearing the sound of my nails flicking the keyboard. Look at my nails, y'all. These are natural. I know you wish you could be me. So to end off this video, I just want women in their 20s to be more careful. If, like I said, being a mother and a homemaker and all that stuff, if all of that stuff is your dream, go right ahead. I am talking again about the people who simply cannot afford to bring a child into this world and are being selfish. Again, salute to the women who know that they want to be child free. I know I want to have kids. So that means I'm going 10 times fucking harder to be able to give them the life that I've always wanted to give kids so my kids don't suffer. I know that we can't choose the trauma that we give our kids and the traumas that they experience. At the same time, I still want to give my kids a cushy life, a good life. And with that, I'm gonna have to hustle and be on top of my shit and not let a man impregnate me to have that stop me. So I know this is a controversial opinion, I know, but that's what I'm here for, to say the quiet part fucking out loud because nobody else wants to say it. Everybody keeps getting pregnant. No ring, no ring, no ring. If a piece of paper isn't that big of a deal, then go get married and then have a kid. I know that seems very trad wife, conservative, whatever of me, but it's just like, at least that there's some type of protections when you're married to a man instead of just having him be a baby daddy, because like, you know what I mean? So let's do better. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video and I'll see you on my next one. Bye y'all.